so you guys might want to sit together so you can all see the pictures in the story. Has anybody ever read this book? It's called Three Hens and a Peacock. No? Well, I am going to read it to you, and when I'm done reading it, I want you to tell me, I want you to think about maybe why I picked this story to talk about God. Okay? Because it's about a peacock and three hens. All right, so let's find out. All right, things were quiet on the Tucker's farm. The cows chewed their cud, the hens clucked and clucked, and laid their eggs. Old hounds stretched out on the porch, watching and listening. Once in a while, someone would stop by to buy tomatoes or corn, or perhaps a quart of milk. Hey, Dad. Nothing unusual happened there until that peacock showed up. The cows and the hens and the old hounds kept right on doing what they've always done. But that peacock had never lived on a farm. He had no idea what to do, so he spread his fancy feathers and set to shrieking. Eventually, the peacock wandered down to the road. When the cars whizzed by, he shook his feathers and cried out in his loudest voice. Of course, people stopped for a closer look. Day after day, more folks stopped to admire the peacock, and they bought tomatoes and corn and eggs and milk. Business on the Tucker's farm was booming. Everyone seemed happy to have visitors stopping by. But trouble was brewing in the hen house. The hens were squawking and clucking and flapping their wings. We do all the work around here. I like to see that peacock lay one single egg. Exactly, he just struts around screaming. I suppose fancy feathers are more important than laying eggs. That lazy peacock, he gets all the attention and we do all the work. Are the hens happy with the peacock? No. Not at all. Well, the peacock overheard every word. For days he moped about, moaning and growing. I wish I could be more useful around here. Huh, clucked one hen. The others ruffled their feathers. The old hound stretched and slowly raised his head. Why not let the peacock stay here to be useful while you hens take the glamorous job down by the road? So they're going to switch jobs. Do you think that's a good plan?
Yes.
You think it's a good plan? Let's see what happens. The three hens began clucking to one another. What a wonderful plan! Yes, it's a fabulous idea. Oh, ladies, we simply must fancy our feathers tonight, and nothing but our brightest beads, bangles, and bows. We'll stop traffic for sure. Well, why, you girls know I can strut with the best of them. The peacock perked up. Let's do it, he declared. Tomorrow I stay here, sit on a nest, and cluck. And we'll all get gussied up, said the hens. We'll be so glamorous. At sunrise the next morning, the hens started down the road. Are they all fancy today?
Yes.
They look all fancy today, don't they? And then the peacock marched right to the hen house and poked his head inside. The hens flocked by the road, waiting for a car. When they saw one approaching, they clucked and they squawked and they flapped their wings with a flurry of feathers. But every car just whizzed on by. The peacock sucked in his tummy and wiggled from left to right, trying to squeeze through the tiny hen house door. His front half was in and his back half was out. But down by the road, those hens, they tried every chicken trick they knew. Still no cars stopped. Finally, the peacock made it into the hen house. He held his breath and pushed with all his might, but no matter how hard he tried, he could not lay an egg. Not one. Well, the old hound stretched out on the porch, watching and listening. What's that peacock doing in the hen house? Asked Farmer Tucker. Who knows, said Mrs. Tucker. And what about those hens? What are those hens doing down by the road? Not one of them is up there laying eggs. Well, the way things are going, we aren't likely to have anyone buying eggs today, said Farmer Tucker. We need that peacock down there stopping cars. When the peacock heard that, he smiled, his biggest smile you could ever see on a bird's beak. I am helping, he thought. He squirmed back and forth until he popped out of the cramped hen house. Then he trotted off to find the hens. The exhausted hens were all plucked out. Every feather was out of place. What a day. We couldn't get one car to stop. It's true. Why, most of them didn't even slow down. The peacock met the hens as they trudged up the road. I can tell you I'm no good at laying eggs, he said. I'm just not meant for it. And one of the hens nodded. And I put all my stellar strut in, and I couldn't stop a single car, she said. I have to tell you, Fancy Feathers, your job is harder than it looks. The other hens agreed. The peacock looked relieved. So the hens marched back to the hen house, and the peacock strutted down to the road. And the old hound stretched out on the porch, watching and listening. And all things were quiet again after Tupper's smile. That's the end of the story. Why did I ask? Why did I read that story about God? Do you know?
Because it's counted God.
So, was the peacock able to lay eggs?
No.
No, that wasn't the peacock's job. What about the hens? Were the hens able to look all fancy and great and get people to come stop by the farm?
No.
They weren't able to do that. In our Bible story today, we have two people. We have Mary and we have Martha. And Martha's job is she's getting things all ready in the house. And Mary is talking to Jesus. And Martha gets irritated with Mary. And she's like, she's not doing anything. But actually she was doing something. She was talking to Jesus and helping him out. And so part of what our story, part of what Mary and Martha tell us, and the hens and the peacock tell us, is that everybody has different gifts they can do. And just like you might be a great basketball player and you might be a great story writer, but we all can't do the same things. We all have special gifts to do. That's part of what our story is about. So why don't we hold hands and say a prayer and we'll head back to our seats, okay? Do you want to hold my hand? Is that okay? Do you want to hold hands? Are we ready? Dear God.
Dear God,
Thank you for gifting us.
thank you for giving us.
Help us to each
Help us to each
use our gifts
use our gifts